Yep. Ding, ding, let's go. All right, so I've frequently been talking about the clarifying and expanding of that it is that which is us, right? At the heart and soul level, clarifying and expanding outward. But it would be an injustice if we did not talk about the phases in between. So this connects with the concepts like the Phoenix Rising, the dung beetle, and just the crap in general, literally and symbolically, to compost and to have it be used as fertilizer. All right, so it's no mystery, it's no question that we have shit in our lives. Past traumas, grudges, things that are gnawing at us, that are essentially just asking for our attention so that we can eventually transcend these things. There's a lot to be said about this deep stuff, like trauma, not being able to let things go, not being able to move past certain things, not being able to transcend certain things, just holding these grudges, not being able to do things like forgive, let bygones be bygones. And this is all very real and very true realities in our life. These things are happening, these things are prevalent, these things are present in our lives, and they're nudging us, they're poking at us, they're gnawing at us. They demand attention, they demand satisfaction. And it makes me think of the Alice in Chains song, Man in the Box, because it's like the story, the opus, the tale, the very real transitionary moment and period in our lives. And, I'm going to say man, that's in the lyrics, but obviously gender neutral, whatever it is that you're working with. I'm the man, the human in the box, buried in my shit, in my pit, right? For the clean version. Won't you come and save me? Let's see. Fear in my eyes. Those who try will be wasted. Fear in my eyes. Now you've sewn them shut, right? Man in the box. Human in the box. So this is amazing. This is very indicative of this transitionary phase, this moment in time where we're in a pit, we're wallowing in our own shit. And this also connects to the Tool song 46 and 2, wallowing in my own chaotic, insecure delusions, looking for something to guide me through. I want to feel the changes coming on. I want to know what I've been hiding in my shadow. Interesting and awesome and amazing that there are these parallels, and both songs, both epics, both stories, both fables, tales, talking about this moment in time. And with effort, this will be a passageway, not a place where you're in the pit, you're in the shit, succumbing to fear and delusion, and you're just taken down, right? Where in the song Man in the Box, there's a phrase in the lyrics, deny your maker, where it's like, yeah, you can feel like you're absolutely bogged down by life, and you're like, God, why have you forsaken me? God, the universe, whatever term you want to use. And that can easily turn someone into an atheist, a nihilist. It's understandably so. When you're so bogged down, when you're so piled on by the shit of life, it's totally understandable if you find yourself as a nihilist or atheist. But this is a transitionary period, a passage in time, in your path, where here you are, and the helpful transition that will essentially get you through is asking for guidance. Whether it's you personally, or you've heard stories of people just hitting rock bottom, just being just down in the depths, down in the dumps, in depression, in deepness, in darkness, and you're just crying out for something, for some sort of guidance. Pull me through, see me through. I want to see this through. That's the part that really matters, and it is a point of contact, a point of action, a point of intention, of desire that you have to initiate and continue in a sort of continuation until you are on an upswing, right? This is a trough, this is a valley. You have to call forth within yourself, your heart and soul, call forth to something. You can call it God, you can call it the universe, just something. Your intuition, you're calling forth for something. I want things to change. I want things to be different. I want to get out of this. And another key is to know, even though it's painful, uncomfortable, like dirty, like disgusting, depressing, you're feeling low. This is necessary because the more you're present with seeing where you are, what is brought forth in front of you, what you have become, what you are steeped in temporarily, that's another key, temporarily, to see it mentally, emotionally, neutrally as necessary. Like I made up a word, it's necessary. And in past writings, and maybe I talked about it in a video or two, where the mess, as you're viewing it, as you're in the present and you're okay with it temporarily, the mess ages. The mess ages, and you are shown messages. This isn't just wordplay, like this is actually real and true. This is life. This is reality. I would never just downplay, poke fun at, just do silly little wordplay and not be real and true and intentional about getting forward, getting clarity, and getting expansion wherever it is that we are, and pushing through it. And yes, there's a mutuality of it, where as you're pushing, something is pulling you. You want things to change, so you're giving that push, that necessary push. This is a challenge. You want things to change, you want things clarified, you want things expanded, and you are pushing. And as you're pushing, there's this something, call it whatever you want, the heart, the soul, the intuition, God, the universe, the cosmos, whatever, is seeing this temporary challenge, this temporary struggle happening, and as you're pushing, this force, call it whatever you want, is seeing it and saying, symbolically. Okay, I see you. Are you seeing the messages? Cool, you are? All right, well, let's go. Let's make it happen. Let me pull you forth. Let me see you through. Let's go. We're going. Not only is this going to happen, it is happening. Boom. So, to go more into the shit analogy, it's a matter of seeing it for what it is and knowing that it's amazing how nature and its natural processes are literal and symbolic in showing us in the human journey how we can live, how we can operate, how we can transcend. So, isn't it amazing that we see literal waste material can be used, can be composted, can be used as fertilizer, the maker of the process of fertilization. It's literally true, and it's symbolically true for humans and our journey and our path. The fertilizer, the waste material being composted and being turned into fertilizer. And isn't that amazing that beings like the dung beetle, they know what's up, where they're gathering the dung, rolling it up, and the dung is being utilized, it's being pushed forth and put in a situation where new growth can happen. So it's this patterning, this inevitable waveform of things like the seasons. Growing. Amazing. Growth is turning into fruition. You're enjoying the fruits of labor. Amazing, right? The summertime. The harvesting. And then as autumn happens, the downswing. Harvesting. And then things are dying. Things are decomposing. Things are turning to shit, right? We're having moments in our lives where things are turning to shit. And fair enough, the average mind is seeing things turning to shit and saying, oh, woe is me, this is bad, this is not what I want, even though on a soul level, it is what we want and need. It's amazing. So things are turning to shit. We're becoming buried in our shit. Things are being destroyed. Things are in ruin. Destruction is happening. And, the concept of psychology and psychedelics, where there's this ego death that's happening. The ego death can only really happen once there's a letting go, where things are turning to shit and we're okay with it. So just exhale, acceptance. This is the reality. This is okay. So there's that trough. Acceptance of the trough. The winter of things we're past the point of things dying. Things are now death. Things are decomposed, dead. Temporarily. Right? Or you could say the what is is dead. But what is dead is composted, turned to fertilizer, and then we get the first inklings, the first views of spring as things start to sprout from the shit, from the fertilizer, the fertile ground, the fertile soil, the seeds that are falling on fertile soil, and again, acceptance all along the way is the only way we can have a clean ego death. In all fairness, there's a point where the universe, God, just our general beingness, whether or not we are accepting it, God, the universe is like, hey man, you may be going through this, kicking and screaming, but this is happening. This transcendence is happening. This shit is turning to fertilizer. Whether or not you understand it, whether or not you accept it, whether or not it's conscious, this is happening. So it's at the end of the day, you know, shout out to the people who say that there's no free will. I'm not convinced of either, that there's no free will or that there's only free will. Really, who cares? At the end of the day, this is your journey, your path, your life, and you are playing and you are being played, right? That's the holy middle point, you know, the holy middle ground of you are playing, you are being played, you are gaming, you are being gamed. There's a certain point where life is lifing and you didn't put a finger on the pulse of any of that. Life is lifing. You just got lifed. You have been transcended. Whether or not you can put your flag on it, whether or not you can sign for it, you've just been served, right? That in a cheeky way, but also in a very real existential way, where it's like, you're at the dinner table, you're kicking and screaming, you looked at the whole menu, I don't want any of it, and the waiter, waitress throws a plate of food at the table, whether it be a little bit of everything or something that, whether or not you realize it, it's exactly the food, the nourishment that you need. You have just been served. And when you're done kicking and screaming about it, and you realize that you actually are hungry for that absolute necessary truth and nourishment, you shut the fuck up and you eat it and you are glad. In the moment, or eventually, days, weeks, months after you eat that meal, you become glad. Whether or not in the moment, days, months, weeks, years, decades later, you realized how delicious it was, how delicious it was. You're feeling that resonant deliciousness, and you are glad. Nourishment. Everything that I've just said, let it compost, let it fertilize. Doesn't matter if you listen to it kicking and screaming, if you skipped along through it, doesn't matter. What does matter is the amount, the extent that you are exacting the mess. This is exactly the mess Whether or not you understand it or know it or give credence to it, it's exactly the mess that you need. Exactly the mess that I need. Exactly the mess that is necessary for a better life. Do you want a better life? That's really up to you. To whatever extent. Do you want this to be better? Do you want that to be better? Do you understand what needs to get better? Do you understand that the low points are necessary, the depressions are necessary, temporary and necessary? Do you understand that the trauma in the past, whether or not you're able to forgive past victimizers, aggressors, whether or not you can let that go, what you have within you right now is a temporary mess that you have, whether or not you want to or care to forgive, whether or not you see it as necessary. What arguably is necessary is you have the mess within you, and to whatever extent you feel is necessary to exact, to, as a verb, whatever you feel is necessary to exact, to transcend, to fertilize into something that sprouts new growth, new expansion as the result of your clarification, fertilization. That is really up to you. And I will keep talking about these things at length because it is exacting my heart and soul. And I feel honored to have the amount of clarification and expansion in my heart and soul that I'm able to talk about this, to express it, and to give it as an act of love to you. Call it what it is, take it for what it's worth, take what resonates. It's your life. Plain Jane simple. What are you going to do about it? Not to be callous, but to be caring, exacting, and continuously encouraging, approaching life in all these different angles and more, right? It's everything and the mystery, right? It's everything and everything that is to be discovered. It's anything, everything, and everything that is beyond even my understanding, right? It's like in my book, I am giving these apples from my tree that I have grown into fruition. You don't like my apples, but you're inspired to grow a pear tree? Cool, grow a pear, right? All of this and more. All right, as I like to do, I'll end the video with respects. Call this one a day. Respect, respect, respect to you, respect to me, for us pushing forth, grabbing as we're pushing, as we're being pulled into more clarification, more expansion, as the result of us composting and fertilizing the shit in our lives to sprout new growth. Respect to you, respect to me for our willingness and ability to make that happen. And zooming out a bit, respect to Earth, respect to this multi-dimensional, multi-layered experience bonanza buffet of the elements, the physical, the metaphysical, the 6 elements, the 6 senses, fire, air, earth, water, ether, 5 elements, 6 senses. Just the fact that we're able to work in symbiosis with all this stuff, all these gifts, the gift of life, all the gifts that Earth gives, the food, the water, the air, the shelter, the gifts that we have through psyche, mind, emotions, spirit. It's a big old multi-layered playing field, and it's freaking awesome. So, all of this and more, Mac 11. Catch you later.